questions. I know this is, a lot of this is maybe new code to some people, so I wanted to leave some time to step through if anybody had any specific questions or basically any other questions you have. So the floor is yours. If you don't have any questions.
At what point in, this would be like a WP admin page load, correct? So I mean in the sense of the actions being fired.
Mm-hmm.
And so where in the sense of the actions being fired is this thing triggered? So I mean if it's all tied into the options API, then I guess it doesn't matter. If you're registering your options above or below, does it matter? Will it still be able to connect?
I am not exactly sure where in the WordPress process that customize register fires. I assume that it's after admin init, which is usually where you add register setting and
that would make sense.
Add theme page, etc. Fire.
What type of theme options does this come with besides text and radio buttons? I mean, there's, if you want to do a typography select.
You can do any kind of custom that you want. You just have to define that control in its own callback. I've got one select that I use that includes the screenshots of various color skins, and I want to be able to display the screenshots instead of just the skin name. So I use a custom control for that, so I can output it the way that I want to.
Could we see that? What that was like?
Sure.
I'm just curious because it doesn't seem like people like to take advantage of this with this theme options that's been integrated, or at least from the themes that I've seen that other people are using. Instead, they're using like their own like options framework.
Yeah, it's slow to roll out. It's part of why I still wanted to do this presentation, because I know a lot of people realized how tightly you can integrate with the core functionality. So yeah, I would love to see as many people as possible leveraging what core is doing. I'm of the school of thought that custom UIs are detrimental to the user experience in WordPress. That's why I heavily promote using the settings API and using it in a way that allows WordPress to output the settings page instead of registering your setting and then still defining all of your form markup. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But here, anybody here use GitHub? Got some GitHub users? Okay, this is my theme. I'm Chip Bennet on GitHub. My theme, which I mainly released as a teaching tool. I try to implement a lot of best practices in it, proof of concept code. So all of what I've talked about here today can be found in there. So if you go to my Enology repository, all of my code's there available. That's what I'm referencing here. But here's all of my theme customizer code, which a lot of this is pasted into the presentation. And then the very last one I've got, in this case, I define it as a select, and I've got in my options parameter where I define all of my options parameters. I obviously have types of fields, and I've got one called custom. That's the one I was describing earlier. So in the case of the theme customizer, I just output it with the select. What other? I haven't looked at how you can do a file upload, for example. I have to get back to you on that one. Probably that may be a good post for the Make WordPress Themes site. And everyone familiar with that site, make.wordpress.org/themes. That's kind of the home of the WordPress theme review team. We discuss theme review guidelines, we discuss best practices, tutorials for how to implement these kinds of things, which is actually the genesis of this presentation. So I'll look into that some more and probably put up a tutorial on how you implement theme customizer for other controls than just those four types.
Did you say you had an array of images for the
I can show you that.
radio button?
What was that site again?
Oh, make.wordpress.org/themes. All right. So here's where I define, I call them varietals, they're color schemes. Here's the array where I define them. Come back here. The way I do that, it's probably outside the scope of the presentation here. I don't want to bore people in details of how I implement the settings API. If you got questions, feel free to ask me afterwards and I'll step you through all this. Pardon me. Any other questions?
Well, 2011 is implemented, so
It is.
you can just look at
And it is implementing it with its color scheme, header text color, background color, link color. It's link colors, slightly longer update.
You just did a fresh install of 2011, and I'm not seeing the color schemes.
Really?
It's in the include directory. It's called out in the function.
So you don't
Just
see.
by default, just installing going straight there, you can select the text color, but it's not showing light or dark, or it's not showing navigation either.
You using stable or a nightly or?
I just installed Fantastico.
Oh, okay. Are they, is Fantastico,
Well,
Is it the latest version?
more.
okay.
Things don't, they don't update these themes when you update WordPress anymore. So the actual theme itself might.
Is that It is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
I think.
How do I access these values in my theme files?
How do you access it? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, you showed us how to get this working, but how do I pull that value out from my actual theme?
Right, in the theme template files.
Theme template files?
I want to call my custom,
This doesn't change any of that. The template abstraction layer is all still going to be the same. You're going to call get option, which is going to return your array of options defined in the register setting, and then you're going to output them. So none of that would change. This is just an alternate approach to allow users to configure those settings.
I got a question.
Sure.
The live update portion here, do you know if they're actually refreshing the page, or do you know if they're using some form of Ajax to
So they're
like,
using the iframe.
are they?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was like, 'cause it
Yeah.
looks lightning fast, but I, you
Because
know.
I inspected it because I was curious.
Yeah, I was like, because they're doing some kind of Ajax thing,
Yeah.
I wanted on that.
Well, and,
They did that fast.
Otto wrote an excellent post that goes into even more detail that I didn't want to get into here for sake of time, because it's considerably more involved. There are two ways to implement how the updates occur. One is whenever the preview pane refreshes. The other is using Ajax to push it instantly. So
Yeah,
if you want to be able to implement instant updates, you can do that. Or the page refresh is not really slow either.
No, well, you were changing the title and it was going as you were typing. And
Right.
that one, I can totally understand. That's probably partially why they offer the text input as something, because then they can tie the two together.
Right.
That's very helpful.
Yeah.
The team I'm working with, we're trying to develop a theme that's highly modularized, and most of that is functional, like adding a Facebook feed or not adding a Facebook feed. But one of the things we want to do is take the header image and either have it go all the way across like that there, or have it go like, say, 2/3 of the way across and put some actual content in there. Can you change the size of the header image using this? Or does it just change the actual image?
Because the size of the header, I guess it's possible if you're resizing with CSS that U and Q and WP head is what happened last, that you could do that.
I'm not 100% sure, but doesn't 2012 do that?
Not with the 2012 that extensively.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think it does, and I think it's possible. But I won't take a look at it right now.
There's no reason you couldn't. I will say you can't really manipulate your add theme support array parameters very easily with this, kind of because you got cart and horse thing going on. But if you're overriding that with the CSS, the U and Q later, I don't see any reason why you couldn't.
I can see if you're using the page refresh, you could probably do a whole lot,
Right.
because then it's reload, but
Right, and then pretty sure that that's the way that the 2011 does it with the color schemes. It just enqueues a different name CSS file, so that you're actually seeing that happen when it refreshes and then pulls in the different CSS file. All right, well, I think I'm supposed to wrap up around an hour or 10:45. So it's time for maybe one or two more questions. If not, let you guys head off for some coffee or next session. Oh, go ahead.
On the header and background image sections there, where does it store those images at? Like, is it something that the user can access through the media portion, or?
Yes, actually, now that is another feature of WordPress 3.4. I didn't really get into because it's not directly applicable to themes, but as of WordPress 3.4, when a user uploads a custom header or background image, they're stored in the media manager.
so they're not treating it in the same sense as when you do like a featured image. Maybe all the images are already hyperlinked, because this is a gray area for me. But when you upload an image and it takes all those different sizes, it's actually a post in a sense, and it has all that data. But
It is a post. And
Yeah.
when you upload an image to any post, it becomes an attachment post type that is a child of that post type. And then as part of the image upload process, it creates all those intermediate image sizes and saves them all with a certain nomenclature, so it knows which one to grab when you request it.
yeah, and so in a sense, when you load the header image, if it's been registered in that way, you could probably filter it to serve a smaller image, or I might think going off his question, but filter it to serve a different size.
Is the post parent of the header image or anything you ask the media manager directly, is that just like 0 or 1?
Yeah, it's 0. They're orphaned attachment posts. Yes.
Are you using any theme framework when you build your theme, or you build your own one?
I built my own.
What's the benefit or advantage or disadvantage of doing your own compared to the framework out there?
How familiar are with the code? If you're comfortable with a framework and it allows you to work better, that's fantastic. If you want to write your own so you know that code intimately and allows you to work faster, use your own code. I don't really have a opinion on whether one is better than the other. I think people should use the tools that allow them to work most productively.
Is your theme that you built available on GitHub, or you?
Yep. Yep, if you go to Bennet/Enology, that's my theme. It's also available in the repository. I don't promote it to get people to install it and use it. I promote it because I try to put best practices in there and help people learn how to implement things. So I always welcome constructive criticism too. So I really believe in the development community working together and helping to make everyone better, rising tide, raising all ships, and that sort of thing.
And within that GitHub, if you can bring back.
Sure.
Again, I see that you have the chain log, and I'd like to, if you don't mind, walk us through how you work in your software releasing that kind of stuff.
I'm sorry, what?
Like if you scroll all the way down to the changelog,
Oh, the changelog?
right, and then see you have like versioning system going on and you don't talk us through like 1.5.0 and whatnot.
My versioning system, the first number is an API change, and actually, the next version that I release, I'm implementing the Theme Hooks Alliance, which will be an API change for my theme, so it's gonna go from 2.x
So
to
the first one is the
3.0.
API change.
Right. The second one is gonna be a functional edition, so when I added the theme customizer, that was, I think 2.6 or 2.5, and if I have bug releases, that'll be the third number. All right, I should probably let you all go so you can get to your next session. If anyone has any other questions, please feel free to come see me in the interim. Appreciate it. Thank you all.